Hi guys, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 must-ask questions to help you evaluate a paid traffic agency. And this is so that you can find the perfect partner to help you grow your brand. I'm Meredith, the creative director at Biddyco, and we help e-commerce companies scale their paid traffic. So let's get into it. So there are so many factors when it comes to hiring a paid traffic agency. And we have developed 5 fail-safe questions that are crucial, absolutely 100% necessary to ask yourself when you are getting started with that search. So we're just gonna dive right in. Number 1 is, do they specialize in your industry? So there are a lot of agencies out there that will take all kinds of clients, and they will take insurance agents and e-commerce companies and restaurants and coaches and info marketers, etc. On and on and on, anybody who's willing to pay. And there's really nothing wrong with that. But we are of the camp that believes expertise in everything leads to an expertise in nothing. And when you're working with an agency that specializes specifically in what you do, they have such a broad look and a broad perspective on what's going on in your industry. You know, what's going on in the e-commerce industry isn't going to always be in alignment with what's going on in the restaurant industry. And you know, why not work with somebody who can tell you, like, oh, this e-commerce company is seeing the same trend that your e-commerce company is experiencing, or, you know, vice versa. This, insurance agency is struggling with the exact same thing that your insurance agency is struggling with. So expertise is key, and, the other thing that goes along with that is that not everybody is going to have experience with your industry right from the get-go. So a lot of times, if you are going to an agency that deals with all types of clients and accounts, there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. Maybe they've casually worked with somebody in your industry, or they, never have. It's going to take a couple months for them to really get a feel for what's going on and how the ins and outs of that industry work. Number 2, do they specialize in one service? So if you've started your search for a paid traffic agency, I'm sure that you have wound up at somebody's service page at this point, and you have been greeted with quite the buffet of options. So, you see paid traffic, but then in addition, there's web design, and there's branding, and SEO, and content creation, and influencer marketing, and basically everything you could ever think of when it comes to marketing. And you know what they say, like, we can't all be Amazon. So, these everything stores of marketing, they're not masters at any one thing. And what this means when you see somebody who has a services page like this, it usually means that they only have 1, maybe 3, if it's a big time operation, of people working in that specific service versus an entire agency dedicated to just paid traffic or just SEO or just email marketing. And, the old adage, a jack of all trades is a master of none, and we really could not agree more. Number 3, are their clients a similar size to your business? So it can be very tempting to want to sign with an agency that has big, high-profile clients. Like, let's just use Uber as an example. Uber, though, is super well-funded and can probably spend $10 million in the blink of an eye, and it's zero problem for them. Now, I'm guessing that your business can't spend millions of dollars with the blink of an eye without it, making a difference on your bottom line. And you need an agency that understands that every single dollar counts. And, when you're with an agency that's working under that mindset every day, their account managers are optimizing differently. They're budgeting differently. They're strategizing differently. And, so it's important to think, like, okay, are they working with mid-sized businesses, small businesses, or are they working with like these big behemoth brands? Now, that's not to say that those type of agencies aren't, looking out for their clients and trying to spend dollars in the most responsible way possible. But again, it's a different mindset. And an agency that's dealing with every dollar counts, they're going to take care of you in a different way than an agency that's used to spending millions and millions and millions of dollars without like a huge level of scrutiny and accountability. Before I tell you number 4, I want to preface this that I believe this is the most important million-dollar question that you must ask. Maybe, honestly, we should have put this as number 1. But number 4 is, what is the client to account manager ratio? With building an agency, we have had the opportunity to talk to many different account managers at many different agencies within the hiring process. And we know firsthand how many accounts a lot of account managers have out there. And when you are working at a larger paid traffic agency, the likelihood is that the personalization and the intimate relationship that you have with your account manager is going to be pretty zilch. A lot of these managers have upwards of 15 to 25 different accounts. That means far less communication, far less customization, far less attention. And that's what you're paying an agency for, is to feel taken care of, to actually be taken care of, and for communication. You don't want to be left out in the lurch on what's going on with your money every single day in and out of Facebook and Instagram or AdWords, whatever. So when you're working with a paid traffic agency, nail them down on this answer. This is a super important one. Big agencies are going to assign people 15, 25. We once had someone come in and say they were managing like 40 accounts. That is insane. That's insane. Because then there are other agencies like ours that assign a maximum of 5 accounts. And like our account managers they're packed. I mean, they're working day in and day out on these accounts. And I just can't imagine that you can properly service accounts successfully and really give the TLC that's required when you've got more than, 8, 9, 10, I mean, literally past 5. I just don't know how it's possible. So they may not be forthcoming with this, answer to this question, but it's something that is absolutely necessary because their answer to this is going to give you a very, very quick view into how you're going to be dealt with and what that relationship is going to look like with your account manager. Last but not least, the 5th and final question is, do they have a track record of spending money wisely and getting great results? So I don't know what agency out there would be leading with, like, we suck at our jobs, we don't make you any money. So it is harder to weed out, the weasels from the winners. And, I think the best way to do this is with case studies. So you want to make sure that you have a very transparent view into an agency's track record and looking at the measurable results. What's their average ROI look like? Or what have they been able to do? What's possible when working with them? Again, everybody's gonna say that they're great. And I think that's an awesome marketing strategy, but you've got to do your research, and I think case studies are probably the best way to go about doing that. So ultimately, what we've learned from today is that it is really scary easy to spend money, and it is a lot harder to make it. And just to round up those 5 super important questions, number 1, do they specialize in your industry? Number 2, do they specialize in one service? Number 3, are their clients a similar size to your business? Number 4, what is the employee ratio to accounts? And number 5 is, do they have a track record of great results? So if you ask those 5 questions, I guarantee that you will wind up with the perfect partner to help you grow your brand. And that's all I've got for today. If you liked this and this was helpful, please pass it along. You can subscribe below. We will be back next week with another engaging video about something that has to do with social advertising or e-commerce. If after watching this, you're like, hey, you guys kind of know a lot about this, like maybe we should hop on a call. Maybe you're the agency for us. We might be. We'd love to get to know you and find out. So there's a link below in the description to get in touch with us. And other than that, that's all I got. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you back here soon.